In real scenario, there are 4 ways to get your code into Azure repos. It's not like that you are pulling, pushing, leave about all the options. But the moment if the person asks you, what are all the ways I can bring this code into my Azure repos, there are 4. For anyone, first you need to create a blank repository. If I create a blank repository, let me name it as empty1 only. Empty1, just empty1. So here itself it is showing the all ways. The first one is add some code. How can we add? Clone this repository into your local computer, there create some files and then push back that to this repository. That is one way. Okay, you are cloning the empty repository and then adding the files into this repository and then pushing back to Azure repos. The second one is push an existing repository. If you already have the files ready in your local computer, okay, the previous one is there are no files. You are cloning the repository and then adding files. But in your local repository, in your local computer, if the code files are already ready, then what you can do, you can simply add this Azure repo as a remote repo. You can simply add this Azure repo as a remote repo. Why we need to add? When you go with this cloning, the moment you clone this repository, by default this repository will become a remote for your local repository. The moment you clone this repository, by default this repo will become a remote for your local repository. But whereas when you already have a repository, then it won't have any remote. For that reason, they said here, first add this as a remote, then push the code. That's the commands. See, first they are asking to add, then the second one is push. Here all means in your local repository, you can have multiple branches. If you want to push all the branches, you can use all. If you want to push single branch, you can push the single branch name. Then the command will be git to push hyphen origin hyphen, no need of hyphen, directly give the branch name. It may be a master, first branch, second branch, any branch. So these are the 2 ways to get the code from your local computer to Azure repos. But what if your code was there in some other place? That may be a Git repository, that may be a Bitbucket repository, or if you are going with migration from centralized to distributed. For suppose if you are previously using centralized means that may be a TFVC repository or subversion repository. Those all are following centralized version control system. So if you have centralized version control system repository, first you need to migrate it to Git, then you can import it. Okay, first you need to migrate it to Git and then you can import. So the migration from Git to subversion to Git and TFS to Git, you better Google it. Okay, it's again a separate concept. How to migrate centralized version control system repos, whether it may be a TFS repo or subversion repo to Git. And the final one is you don't have code anywhere, but you want to write your code in this Azure repos itself. That is the best point of Azure repos. If you don't have code anywhere and you want to start writing code within Azure repos, then you can go ahead and initialize the new repository. You can go ahead and initialize the new repository. So the new repository by default will get readme file. If you don't add readme file, then you can't initialize this repository. So if you add readme file, you can initialize the repository and first it will create master branch. Now what we will do, I remember last week we have seen the first step, second step and third step also. Now I will start from here. I am initializing a repository with master branch inside Azure repos. Okay, initialize. Yeah, I got a repository with a readme file. Now if you have an idea what to write and where to write, you can directly start from here itself. You can add a new file. Okay, you can add a new file. If I want to write a file which will be a batch file. For suppose Name that as batch file only, batch file.p8. Here I can write the code directly. I will write a simple instructions. Okay. So now I have written the code. Now I need to save. We already seen the terminology. Save is nothing but commit in Git. Now I am committing. So the commit by default it came added batch file.bat. If you want to give any extra commit, we already know how to give the commit message. So here you can give your commit. I mean, this is like something like commit message, and this is on master branch. Here, if you see, if you have any work item, if someone has created a work item saying that create a new file in empty1 repository, then you can attach the work item to this task. Whatever you have done right now, you can attach. But as of now, we don't have any work items. That's the reason. It's done. Okay. Now I am creating files here. Okay, I have created files here, and here I have only master branch. I am creating another branch. If I want to create another branch, I can create from here itself. So this branch is like the branch, and again the same one. If someone asked you to create a branch and they have assigned you some task, link the task here so that they will come to know this man has finished this work. This is the status of the work. This is comes under boards concept. We already seen how best boards can be used to plan, track, and see the status of your work. Sorry. Create. Now I created a branch. So now I'm on first branch. Inside first branch, okay. Now I'm first branch. Inside first branch, I'm creating another file. Now this is test.ps1. PS1 is a format for PowerShell file. This file was from a single line commit. Okay, added PS1 into first branch, then commit. Now if you switch branches, if I go to master branch, I am not seeing test.ps1. Okay, I am not seeing test.ps1. If I go to first branch, I am seeing test.ps1. So how can I bring this test.ps1 file into master? How can I bring this test.ps1 file into master? For that, what you need to do? You need to merge the changes. Okay, you need to merge the changes from other branch to your main branch. This can be done within the portal, or this can be done by using git commands. Okay, this can be done within the portal, or this can be done by git commands. First, let me try with git commands. So that is a better way. For that, what I need to do? I need to clone this repository to my local. If I want to do this by using git commands, I need to clone this repository to my local. So if you click on the repository options, you will see the clone option. If I go for clone, this is the URL. Copy. Now, where I want to get this repository? So go to that folder. If I go to that folder, okay, here I want to get that repository. So what I am doing? I will be starting git bash here. Okay, I will be starting git bash here. So there is no folder with the name empty1. Okay, the name itself we give it as empty1 only. No worries. Now what I will do, I will take git clone. Okay, then I will take the URL. This is the URL. Copy this URL. And in git bash window, Control C, Control U won't work. You need to do it through mouse only. Okay. The moment I complete this git clone operation, here you can see a folder will be created with the name empty1. See, we got an empty1. Here I got empty1. It got created just now. Now I need to go inside the folder. Okay. The moment I go inside the folder, you will see here it will come with the empty1 name and the branch name. See, now I am inside empty1 and I am into master branch. Now let me check git status. So I am on branch master, nothing to commit, everything is clean. But if you want to see what are all the files inside master, the command is ls, list the files. So batch file readme.md, we are clear, right? So inside master, we have one batch file and one readme.md file. But here if I go to first branch, I have 3 files. Now I want to switch the branch. So before to switch branch, you want to know, you need to know what are all the branches here. For that, the simple command is git branch. Okay, now it is showing only master branch. Just a second, guys. So when you want to see all the branches from the remote, sometimes I will forget the commands. I need to verify. See, so when I give git branch -a, that means all the branches. So as of now, I am into master branch, but in the remote there are 2 branches. One is master, another one is first branch. The other thing is origin master. That is, it's like current branch where you are working. You are working on origin master. And there is another branch, first branch. Now I want to switch to first branch. For that, nothing to do, just check out, give the first branch. Yeah, now you see, earlier I am into master branch, here it got changed into first branch. Okay, earlier I am into master branch, here it got changed into first branch. Now I want to see the files inside this first branch. For that, ls. Okay, we have 3 files. So the beauty of git bash is, let me show you. Okay, I am clearing the screen. So when you are in first branch, it's not like that you are in first branch only this window. The first branch will be automatically populated in your file explorer also. If you see, I have 3 files here. By seeing 3 files, you will understand that, okay, these 3 files are first branch. That means now I am seeing the files which are in first branch. If I check out to master, okay, if I check out to master, here you are seeing 3 files, right? The moment I check out to master, it will go to 2 files. See, the test.ps1 got removed. So you no need to go to the master branch or first branch in the git bash window. from the file explorer also, you will be understanding that in which branch you are. If you are aware of the files, if you are not aware of the files, then you can't understand. Okay, if you are aware of the files, then you can easily by seeing the files in the file explorer itself, you will come to know on which branch you are working if you are aware of the files. But if you are not aware, better verify that in which branch you are working from Git bash window. Okay, just a second, guys. Just a second, guys. Just a second, guys. I don't want to waste time on people. I think I'm audible, right? Yeah, okay. Just a second. Yeah, sorry guys. So now we come to know what are all the files in master branch and what are all the files in first branch. When you compare with master and first branch, we see there is an extra file in first branch. I want to bring that extra file into master branch. How can you bring it? You can merge the changes from first branch to master branch. So merging is not just like the files. You will be getting all the history of the files as well. So let me verify first the history. So in master branch, I have two commits. In master branch, I have two commits.
Rajesh, you are in mute.
Sorry guys, sorry, yeah. So what I am saying is, I verified the commits in master branch. I have two commits in master branch and I verified the commits in first branch. There are three commits. To verify the commits in branch, the command is git log. So the moment I merge this first branch with master branch, I will not only get this file, I will get this commit as well. Out of disturbances, guys. Okay. So if I want to get this extra file into master branch as well, I need to merge this. Merging is not about only getting the files history as well. Now, when you want to merge one branch with other branch, okay, when you want to merge one branch with other branch, so these two will be called as source branch and target branch. Source branch and target branch. So whenever you want to merge the source branch with the target branch, you need to execute the merge operation from target itself. You need to execute the merge operation from target itself. Now I want to merge first branch with master branch. That means first branch is my source, my target is master. So when I want to merge this, when I want to perform merge operation, I should be on master branch, that is target. But now I am in first branch. So I will check out into master. Git checkout master. So now I am on target. Now I can perform the merge operation. Okay, now I can perform the merge operation. It's like git merge. What is the source branch name? First branch. So you see here, when I am in master branch, I am seeing only two files in the file explorer. Now I am going to complete this operation. Git merge first branch. You will see three files here. Okay, you will see three files here. See, we got three files. Even though I am in master branch, I got the one file which is extra in first branch. Okay, here also it is showing test to PS1, one addition, plus in the sense one addition. Inside that file, one file changed and there is one insertion. Now if you see ls, there are three files. And in the previous command, when you see git log in master branch, when I am in master branch and I performed git log, I am seeing only two commits. But after merge operation, now I am in master branch. Now if I perform git log, see I am seeing three commits. And this third commit was from first branch. It is clearly showing. This third commit was from first branch. Okay, this is how we merge two branches. Previously what we did, we created extra branch here. Okay, we created extra branch here. But now let me create a new branch from git window. Okay, now if I go for git branch, I have two branches and I am working in master. That's why master was highlighted and it has a asterisk symbol. Okay, that's why it was highlighted and it was a asterisk symbol. Now if I want to create a new branch, the command is git branch and the expected branch name. So now I already have a first branch. I am creating second branch. So the command is git branch and the new branch name. See, I am performing the new branch creation by sitting in master branch. I am performing new branch creation by sitting in master branch. This means This second branch will get all the files what are there in master branch. Okay. When you performing a new branch creation operation by executing the command from a separate branch, that means the new branch will get all the files whatever branch you are in right now. So now if I create git branch, now if I perform git branch, okay, git branch, here it is showing only 2, right? But here it will show me 3. Okay, it is showing 3. The second branch is created. So generally we will be in assumption, okay, we have created a new branch, the new branch will be empty. No, it won't work like that. So when you created a branch by sitting in another branch, obviously the newly created branch will get all the files which are in the previous branch. Now if I check out to git checkout, checkout is nothing but switching your branch. If I check out to second branch, and if I perform ls operation, see the 3 files which are there in master branch, they are already here in second branch, and it's not only the files, it will come with the history, guys. That is the best point of git. See, we got 3 commits, and the recent commit it is showing the commit is from master and first branch. Okay, you created a second branch, the second branch got all the files. With the files, it got the history as well, when this file was created and what is the commit ID. Okay, now I will create a new file in the second branch. If I see only there are 3 files, I will create. So for new file creation in git bash window, the command is touch under the file name. Okay, touch under the file name. Now I will see sample.txt. Now if I perform ls, I have 4th file, sample.txt. But inside sample.txt there is nothing. So what I do, I will open this in Notepad. Obviously there is empty. Okay. This file was created in second branch. Okay. Save. Okay. Close. Now if I say ls, I have written something in the second file, right? I mean sample file. If you want to see the data inside that file, the command is cat under the file name. It is showing. Inside the file we have these lines. If you want to see in other lines, let's suppose cat test2.ps1. This is the line. This way you can see what is the content inside of the file. For creation of the file, the command is touch. And for editing the file, where you want to edit. If you want to edit in Notepad and give the file name. Once you are done the editing, if you want to see the contents, then cat the file name. Okay. Now if you see, I have 4 files. Okay, I have 4 files. I don't want to merge this into master. If I check out to master, obviously now I have 4 files, right? Once I check out to master, it will show only 3 files only. Why? Because, oh, sorry guys, I have not committed the sample. See, I have not committed. That's why it is still there even I am in master branch. I told you, saving is not complete in Git. You need to commit those changes. Even though I have modified this file and I saved this file, but this was not added into Git history. Okay, it was not added into Git history. That's why even though you switch the branches, it will be displayed in all the branches. Now if you see Git status, so it was not added until and unless you add the file, that will be displayed in all the branches. So what I am doing, I will perform git add. So if I want to add multiple files, that is dot r hyphen a, I mean capital A, it's not small a. But as it is single file, I am going with git add sample.txt. Now if I go for git status, so the file is already added. Now I need to commit this. We have already seen how to commit. You can commit within the command, or you can commit for another editor window. But for now, I am going within the command. So git commit -message new file in second. Okay, I already told you single quotes and double quotes both works. Previously I used double quotes, but today I used single quotes. Now if I go for git log, the second branch we have 3 + 1, I mean 4 commits. See, these 3 are coming from previously changes, and this is the latest commit. New file in second branch. Now if I check out to master, I won't see this sample file here in this file explorer. Okay. See, I am seeing only 3 files. Why? Because the sample file was created in second branch, not in master branch. Okay, what happened is now here I am seeing only 2 branches, master and first branch, but there is no second branch here. But I have second branch in the local. Now I want to push this second branch to my remote. Okay, now I want to push this branch to my remote. If you remember, initially we did a clone operation. I think I did something wrong here. Okay. So if you remember, initially we did a clone operation. Because of that clone operation, this operation might already got the remote. Yeah. So there is a remote. If you want to see the remote URL completely, then go for git remote -v. Yeah, good. I am in connection. I am in connection with remote, and the remote is the right one. The remote is empty one only. Now I want to push only the second branch. I want to push only the second branch so that the second branch will come here. What I can perform? Git origin. Give the second branch. Whatever you want to push, only give the branch name. If you perform only git push, okay, if you perform only git push, as you are in master branch, okay, as you are in master branch, this bash window will take all the changes from master and it will push to remote repository which is in Azure repos. But when I specify git push under the remote name, under the branch name, it will push the changes what are there in the second branch to this origin. Okay, git push origin and second branch. Done. Okay. Now if you see, we have only master and first branch. There is no second branch. I'm not doing anything here. I'm just refreshing this page. Okay, just refresh. Now you can see we got the second branch, guys. Okay. We created second branch in the local and we pushed the second branch from local to remote. This is how developers will work. This is how developers will work. Developers will be creating multiple branches in their own repositories. Once they are done with the work, they will push their branches to the remote repository. See, even though I have created in multiple branches here, it doesn't stop whoever working on this repository. Why? Because I am working in my local. Assume that this remote is somewhere in America and I cloned this into my local from India and I worked on this. The moment I am done with the work, then I pushed the second branch to master. Now the people who are in America, they can see the second branch. Until I push the code, they can't see. But my code is already there in my local. This is the meaning of distributed version control system. Okay, you are keeping the changes in distributed way, not in central way. Not all the changes are going to sit in one place. The changes will be sitting in different places. The moment they feel that they are done and they are good to merge the changes, they can push. Now what I will do, we have performed a merge operation in the local. Okay, we have performed a merge operation in the local, but now I got an extra branch in the remote. When I go to second branch, I am seeing 4 files. When I am going to master branch, I am seeing only 2 files. Okay, I am seeing 2 files. Now I want to merge the second branch with master so that the other 2 files also. For suppose if I go to first branch, there are 3 files. Okay, if I go to second branch, there are 4 files, and if I go to master branch, there are only 2 files. Now what I want to do, I want to merge the second branch. I want to merge the second branch with this master branch so that I will get 4 files into master. So that I will get the 4 files into master. So for that, what I need to do? I need to submit a pull request. So that's the reason here it's already displaying me. You updated second branch 3 minutes ago. So create a pull request. I don't know why they named it as pull request, but I feel it should be named as push request. Why? Because we are going to push the changes from one branch to other branch. But they named it as pull request, so we need to follow the same system. Pull request. In some organizations, in some interviews, they will call it as, have you worked on PR mechanism? PR means nothing but pull request. Pull request, PR. Even people will call it as PR only. Okay, PR means pull request. Now what I will do, if you remember, we performed merge operation simply, git to merge first branch. But in Azure repos, it won't work like that. You need to submit a pull request. So if you want to submit from here, already it is showing you can submit from here, or else you can go to pull request tab. There you can go for new pull request. There you can go for new pull request. So I am going for new pull request. We already discussed, right? So what is source branch? What is target branch? Okay. Now my target is master. But what is source? From where you want to bring the changes? I want to bring the changes from second branch. See, from second branch to, you are pushing the changes to master. So what are all the changes? It's already displayed. 2 files and 2 commits. Okay guys, 2 files and 2 commits. When you are submitting a pull request, you need to give a name. Merging changes from second branch to master. And this is something like description. Let me copy paste this. When you want to merge these changes, obviously in real time scenario, the owner of master branch is different and second branch is different. Here it may be only one, but in the real time scenario, the owner of master branch is different and the second branch is different. So in that case, when you want to merge the second branch changes to first master branch, you need to add the owner of the master. Okay, you need to add the owner of the master so that he will verify whether your changes are proper or not. Are you allowed to merge the changes from second branch to master branch? This way, you can avoid any issues that happens in the real-time world. See, master is something like the first code repository, and the remaining people will be using whatever code there in master. But when you are adding something to master, that means you are going to share your changes to the entire team. If your changes are not proper, then the entire team will go wrong. So they will be working on wrong data, maybe wrong code. For that purpose, before merging your changes, okay, before merging your changes, you want to have a reviewer. so that they will review the changes and they will approve. Then only your changes will go and sit in master branch. Here I don't want any reviewer. Even if I want to have a reviewer, let me have the reviewer. That will be better. Okay, there is a reviewer. If someone told you to work on this, then obviously you will have a work item on your name. Like merge the changes from second branch to master branch. If you have a work item like this, then you can have the work item here. Okay. Then tags are something like to find out the issues, to filter the issues or to query something. There you can use these tags. For now, nothing. I'm just creating. The first one you are seeing as no merge conflicts. Why? Because whatever changes you have done in second branch, they are not there in master. If the changes are already there in master, then you will see merge conflicts. That means whatever files you have modified, those files are already there in master. Why you are again modifying them? That is the meaning of merge conflict. If you have the same files modified, then you will see merge conflict. But as of now, these are two new files going into master. Now you see, I have added a reviewer. The moment I submitted this pull request, this reviewer might got a mail. Here it's me only. Let me check my mailbox. Obviously, I will get a mail. See, I got a mail, and it's clearly saying merging changes from second branch to master MT1, and the pull request number is 21. Matching map. So here you see the pull request number. It is 21, and the title is merging changes from second branch to master. Okay. It is giving me all the data. There are two files, two commits, and if you want to see the pull request, you can go for view pull request. Okay, assume that this person is a new person and you want to see these changes. Copy this link or else open this link in new incognito window. Here I can see the pull request data and the details. Here I can see the pull request data. It is having two files. No, there are two commits, two updates. Now as a reviewer, I need to approve this. Okay, as a reviewer, I need to approve this. But I have not signed in. That's the reason I am not getting approve button. Let me sign in. Anyway, I have account in this. Let me sign in. Assume that this is your team lead or your manager. You submitted a pull request for his reviewer. Now he got a mail, and from the mail he is verifying. Okay. See, now I got the approve button. Why? Because I logged in. Here if you see, I am into optional section. I am not required section. So when I am optional, it won't change whether I approve or won't approve. Okay, but when it is required, obviously you need to get the approval. When it is required, obviously you need to get the approval. Now what I will do, I have options. Okay, approve, approve with suggestions, wait for author, reject. Okay, approve, approve with suggestions, wait for author, reject. So approve is something like accepting. Approve with suggestions is even though the changes looks good, but you want to have some modifications, and wait for author means whoever submitted these changes, you want to talk to him. Okay, whoever submitted these changes, you want to talk to him, or else you can reject. This is something like you are accepting the review and you are giving your status. But when you are busy and you are not part of this project, you can directly decline the review. Why you are asking me approval? I'm not part of this project and I don't know what's happening here. So I don't want to review. But these are something like after reviewing. Once your review completed, you can approve, or else you want to talk to the code developer, wait for author, or else I reviewed, but the changes looks bad, so I am rejecting. But this is something like you are not even want to review this. Why? Because you are not part of this project. In such cases, you can decline the review. But here I know these changes are good, I am approving. Approve. Okay. Now if I go back to the window, here I can see Rajesh Kumar has approved the pull request. Now I am going to complete this. See, it doesn't mean that once you got the approval, let me duplicate and show you the repo. It doesn't mean that, okay, I got approval for the pull request. Now I can see the changes in master. No. Approving is something like, okay, they approved your changes. Now you need to merge those changes. They approved your changes. Now you need to merge. Merging is something like complete. Okay, complete or else mark as draft. That means today they might approve, but you want to merge these changes tomorrow or next week. If you are working on Friday, you don't want to merge these changes. Why? Because once you merge these changes, if something goes wrong, Saturday and Sunday, the other people will not be available. Then you can't fix the issue. So in such cases, you want to keep this as draft. Even though I got approvals, I don't want to merge this. I will merge on Monday. So I will keep it as draft. Or else abandon. Abandon is nothing but cancel. Even you got the approval, but still you are doubt. Okay, if I merge these changes to master, this may work properly or don't work properly. So I'm still in confusion. Let me cancel this. But in our scenario, everything looks good. We are good to complete. Now you see, in master branch, I have only 2 files. In the other window, I am completing this. Okay, complete. So merge. Complete is nothing but merge. Here we have 4 options. Here we have 4 options. First one is merge. Merging means merging the changes from other branch to, source branch to target. This is direct merge. The second one is squash commit. Squash commit means even though you have multiple commits, okay, even though you have multiple commits, all the commits will come to your branch as a single commit. If you remember, we have 2 commits here. That means once you merge, okay, when you merge, you will get 2 commits. But if you don't want to get 2, right now it is 2, but if you have 10 commits, you don't want to get 10 commits into master. These 10 commits will be integrated with 1 commit. Then all the changes will come as single commit. And then rebase. Okay, rebase. Rebase is something like you will get the 10 commits, but on top of your latest commit. Okay, you will get the 10 commits on top of your latest commit. I will tell you the difference between merge rebase in a graphical presentation later, but just I am telling you there are 4 kinds of merge types. Then semi-linear. Okay, then semi-linear. That means you will be getting, for suppose I have in master 4 commits, in second branch I have 4 commits. 4 plus 4, 8. But I will get another commit. That is just a commit which will say that changes are merged from master branch to second branch. Changes are merged from master branch to second branch. You will get one extra commit. But if you want to avoid this extra commit, you can go for rebase. If you want to avoid extra commit, you can go for rebase. But if you want to avoid all the extra commits from the target branch, you can go for squash commit. So let's say master has 4, second branch has 4. If you go for semi-linear merge, okay, if you go for semi-linear merge, you will get 4 plus 4 plus 1. If you go for rebase, you will get 4 plus 4 only, no 1. If you go for squash merge, you will get 4 plus 1 only. Why? Because the other branch 4 commits will be merged into one commit. Then you will see 4 plus 1. Then merge is something like blank. Obviously, you will get 4 plus 4. Okay. Now I am going for merge. Complete merge.
Rajesh?
Yes.
If merge and rebase and fast forward is having 4 plus 4 the same commit commands, I mean details, why you have two different options?
So it's all about proper branch history. It will be explained only when you see the graphical presentation. I will show you here itself.
Okay.
Now you see this is completed. My pull request completed. Now if I go to master, as of now we have seen only 2 files. If I refresh this, okay, if I refresh this, you will see the extra 2 files. Yeah, I got the 2 files. And now I go for history. See how many commits I have.
You have only 6 commits. Sorry.
5, not 6.
You have 5 commits. 5 commits.
So generally, if you remember, in second branch, how many commits are there?
We have 4.
4. Then why fifth one came? I merged second branch with master, right?
Yep.
That means I need to get 4 commits only. But I got an extra commit. What is this commit?
Okay, merging it's given a separate commit between second and master.
Correct. Okay. Now you see the graph what it shows. This line is other branch. This line is other branch. Right? This is something like merge. But when you perform rebase, there won't be 2 lines. There will be single line.
Okay.
So there will be single line. So this okay, rebase is something like giving your commits on top of the commits. See now it is showing here it is blank, here it is blank. No, why I need to keep this blank? Bring this into the linear, keep it in same line. Then you will see only single line. The graphical presentation will change.
Okay.
Okay, so that is the difference between merge and rebase. Okay. And sometimes not this is the only change. Rebase is something like when you are performing rebase operation, even though there are some merge conflicts, sometimes it merges the changes, taking the latest changes. Rebase will help you in that way also. Okay, when you go for rebase, even if you get some merge conflicts, if the merge conflicts are not inside the contents and it is only with the commits of the files, it will replace those commits, not the contents. Getting my point, right?
Yeah, okay, merge okay.
Okay, merge and rebase, yeah, merge conflicts, for suppose, this is test PS1 file, this test PS1 file has 3 commits, leave about the inside contents.
Okay.
This has 3 commits, but when you are merging with other branch, even the other branch also has the test PS1 file, but that has only 1 commit. Okay, understand the scenario. I am in second branch. In second branch on test.ps1 I have 3 commits. On master branch test.ps1 I have only 1 commit. Now if I try to merge, okay, now if I try to merge, it will give me error. Okay, there are 3 commits and 1 commit. Which commit you want to keep? But if I go for rebase, it won't ask you and it will take the 3 commits and merge into the test PS1 file.
Okay, so 4 files will be there. I mean, 4 commits will be there in the same
yes.
Test. Okay.
Okay. Rebase will won't stop you to merge. and rebase will give you clear history. Now if you see the history is confused. If you go for rebase, it will give you clear history, one line history only.
Okay.
Okay, this is how you merge changes in local Git window in Azure repos. As you see, when you are done with merging the changes, you can delete the source branch. Why? Because whatever changes in second branch, they all are there in master branch. Now you don't want second branch. You can go for delete. Okay. But what happens is in companies, they will keep this. Why? Because in future, if something goes wrong, I want to see the changes. They won't delete. But here we can delete. It's just sample. If we go for delete, okay, it's deleted. Now if I go for repos, I'm see second branch. There is no second branch.
No second branch.
So making it refresh, and then there is no second branch. And I remember, Srikant, you asked me how about if someone by mistake removed the repository?
Yeah.
How to restore the repository?
Yeah.
There is no simple method to restore the repository, but there is a coding process. If you want to restore the repository, so it's using REST API. Okay, it is using REST API. So you directly into the section restore repository from recycle bin.
Okay.
So you need to perform this action. This is the command, and here organization is your account, project is your project, then repository is repository name ID. Okay, I am giving this link, go through this link, but there is no way perform it directly from the window.
GUI way.
Correct.
Okay. We do not have any GUI.
Right. But for project we have a GUI way. I think we have seen that.
Yeah. Within 28 days.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have given the link. If possible, go through the link. It is using the REST API. Again, you need to know what is REST API and how I can perform this.
Yeah, long concept.
Correct. Okay. I want to ask Nagendra. Nagendra, you got right how to bring the code into Azure repos?
Yeah, I'm going through that. But you have created with the first branch, second branch, right? The same thing, right?
Right.
Okay. I'll try to do today.
No, it's not about within the repo. I'm asking you about how can I bring the code into these repositories from local?
I'm not getting that.
Let me ask you another thing. See, if I create an empty repository, I already have a sample, that's the reason. See, sample 2 is empty now. So how can you bring code in here? These are all the ways. First one is cloning, second one is pushing, third one is importing, and the last one is initializing a repository here itself.
Okay.
You missed this topic.
Yeah. You have that recording? Only one?
I don't have. Those recordings are being maintained by the institute guys. Today he is not there. He was on out of station. That's the reason I am recording this session today.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Done, guys. If anyone has doubts, you can start, or else we are good to leave.
One small information. See, when we initialize, where would be the code will be? Git.
So you are asking about this initialize, right?
Yes.
See, you are initializing in Azure repos, so your code will be in Azure repos only. Okay, Azure repos itself is a location where you are going to have your code.
Now Git, if you go to command bash,
Okay.
when we create Git initialize and you are giving a file name like creating, where would be the code at that time?
No, here itself. See, for suppose, let me give you a sample. If I create a new folder, I created a folder. If I go inside this folder, let me close this. If I git bash here, this is not at all a git repo. How can you say that? Go for git status. It will show you. This is not a git repository. So when it says not git repository, what you will do? You need to initialize the git repository. So git init. I initialized the git repository. But I only initialize the git repository. I have not added any code here.
Okay.
If you add code, so if you add code here, that is nothing but your code will be here only. But if you want to have the code in Azure repos, then you need to push this code to Azure repos. Okay. If you have any doubt in this, Srikanth in our call, okay, Srikanth BVG, he has good idea on this. You can reach out him. He is already part of our WhatsApp group.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Then check. I will do that.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, done guys. Leaving. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.